Hi guys, it's Friday. Oh my gosh, I was lying in bed last night, late at night.
With my vibrator.
I've been sick for, they're apparently,
This is crazy. Tell me.
if you watch the internet, they are making vibrators illegal in Texas.
You mean like the internet or the news?
I don't know. The news is, there's so many news sources.
So in Texas, you say they're gonna make it. Didn't they say they're gonna make it harder to get a vibrator than a gun?
Yes.
Well, yes, anyone can get a gun, right?
I don't know. I'm not in America, but it's gonna be like illegal to buy a vibrator.
What's wrong with a vibrator?
I don't know.
What do they think is wrong with a vibrator?
Maybe because it's not a man. I wonder if they're gonna take out masturbation for men with their hands, cut their hands off, because men go at it all the time.
Then whenever they're alone, they just have to put boxing gloves on.
No, they have to. What are they gonna do? If they get caught masturbating, they're gonna be like, I don't know.
But girls can't use a vibrator and masturbate, but boys are allowed, right?
I don't know how many men. Hold on.
You know how many men are vibrating? Masturbating?
Yes, girls can use their hands too.
Yeah.
So it just gets rid of one
Just
machine.
no toys.
You still use your toothbrush.
Oh, but so are blow up dolls and fake vaginas but aren't like those dolls that are like what are those things called? Dolls that are like women? Are those becoming more and more popular?
Yeah.
Not blow up, but
I don't
actual.
know. I think it's in Texas only right now.
Is Texas really big?
Very big.
And also Austin, Texas is different than the rest of Texas.
I think so.
Yeah, because we went to Austin and they were saying how they were very different than the rest of Texas there. And I just recently heard.
We did do shows in Texas, by the way.
Yeah, no, I know. But Austin, Texas, when we were there, they were saying it's different than other parts.
I loved Austin, Texas.
Me too.
I wonder if they ban vibrators, if Austin will be able to have vibrators.
Yeah.
And how do you control online? Isn't everything sold online?
Maybe
you can't buy it in the store.
Yeah.
Or here in Quebec, you can't enter contests if you live in Quebec.
Oh, same thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No contests in Quebec.
No.
Okay, I'm just looking for my article. So last night I'm lying in bed, as I was just saying to Natalie, and sometimes I read at nighttime on my phone, which I wish. My husband's like, I kind of miss newspapers. We never had newspapers. He didn't use them, but the novelty, I guess, of having a newspaper when your parents used to have a newspaper, and you'd have to go buy it for them.
Yeah.
I remember
you got to go to
the
machine,
weekend, the Saturday
and then
Star.
put the quarter in.
Yes.
And then get it from my mom.
My God. And people didn't take more than one.
Yeah.
You would just take one. You'd pay for it and take one.
Oh my gosh. I remember doing that for my mom.
So honest. Can you go get me a paper?
Mm-hmm.
Do they even have newspaper boxes anymore?
No.
That is so sad. When did they get rid of those?
Newspapers? Do they get delivered to people's doors? I feel like my mom gets the newspaper. But then again, maybe she reads it online. And then your fingers would sometimes get dirty.
I know. And the smell.
And I never was like, what are you reading?
Where my dad lives, they still get it.
Oh, that's good. I think people still get it delivered, don't they?
I think, they do. But it was fun to get.
Does your dad read it?
Yeah, I think they go down there's a common area and they can go by the fire. And
by the fire. There's a fire too?
Yeah, they and with a coffee bar, and you can go have your coffee bar. And
can you bring me there?
I know,
please?
it's the best place in the world.
But you haven't taken me.
Okay. 5 years ago. So this is the article. You know what it's called? Dating post-divorce, because we've talked about this lots, has been a lesson in self-discovery and sexual adventure. Younger men, more sex, more self-love. I just thought...
Hold on, so slow down. Younger men.
More sex.
More sex.
More self-love.
More self-love.
Because Natalie and I have talked to a few people who... we've know a few people online who've gotten divorced and seem to bounce back quite quickly and find people, which power to them, looks like they're having a lot of fun. And then we've talked to some people who are like, no, it's really hard. And then we decided that no, it's hard because you don't leave the neighborhood and you're essentially your pond is all taken, or you've dated that pond.
Very true.
So you need to move to another pond.
I think what we need to tell the people who are having a hard time is you need to leave the pond.
Go to a different pond. Because all the people that we know that are dating are in different ponds.
Yeah, very true.
They didn't start in that pond.
I feel like it could be a lot more, I know someone right now who's left the pond, and leaving the pond seems like, you should leave the pond for your next one. Oh yeah,
they left the pond too.
And it's and the person didn't think that they wanted to leave the pond. They wanted someone in the pond. But when they found someone outside the pond, it was a lot more exciting.
And you don't have history.
Yeah.
So-and-so doesn't know so-and-so, and you knew their friend who did the thing. You get to be your adult self post-divorce, not who you were in high school.
You and I were actually kind of smart beyond our years because we shopped outside the pond.
We left the pond. don't date the pond.
And lots of people date we meet so many people in our pond. It's how did you meet we were at camp together, we were at high school together, we were at university together, we grew up together, we were neighbors. He's friends with my cousin. So a lot of people in Toronto stay in the pond. Kat and I
leave.
Outside. That was very smart of us. I think that there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
I think we were smart enough to know.
And I think a lot of America leaves the pond.
Yeah. We also, maybe small towns don't. But you know what?
They have to leave the pond for college.
Yeah.
A lot of them. And then they go back. They go out of state, in state.
The thing is that we were, instead of being tadpoles in the pond, we were something else. We were different than the rest of the pond, and that's why we shopped outside the pond. Do you know?
Yeah. So this person 5 years ago left her marriage. And when she left her marriage, it was like, she says, it was like a shot out of a cannonball powered by spring. So she just flew out and landed and was like, I'm so lost.
You know, when people say that, it would feel like that for me too. Like the things that you have to do to start a new life feel so ginormous that when people talk about their experience, I'm like, how did you do that, especially as a mother?
Actually, cannonball's a really good way to put it, because she was like, I survived pretty much unscathed, but I had unresolved issues. And
leaving out a word?
I rocketed from a marriage without so much as a financial spreadsheet or a 6-month plan. So it's taken her half a decade to recover from my cannonball blast to freedom. So she had to fly out in order to figure out her life. She's turning 51 in May, a bit battered and bruised, but alive to tell the tale. Despite navigating the dark tunnel of divorce, which I think a lot of people have to unravel in order to find out who they are post-divorce.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think you go in one person, you come out another person. Do you agree?
Yes. Oh, I feel like women who are divorced and you meet them, the way how they talk, the things that they talk about, the things that are important are like so opposite from the things that they would have said before they got married for the first time.
Clearly she's a writer, because she's like, you see, despite navigating the dark tunnel of divorce without a torch, a map, or suitable clothing, I've made a reasonably nifty career out of my writing, my way through the pain for the titillation of others. Gory stories told in real time over Instagram, devoured by my own crowd of spectators. Several newspaper articles and a book later, my midlife dating stories have garnered miles of column inches, not to mention barrels of laughs. I love that. I've dated older, richer, poorer, weirder, duller, taller, shorter, fatter, slimmer,
What's
funnier.
dollar? What's dollar?
Taller. T-A-L-L. Taller, funnier, tamer, wilder, and everything in between. But there's one thing I've learned. If you can't love yourself, no one's going to love you, and you can't love somebody else. So she's going to tell us some of the stories.
I also want to say, I want to know what her book is. I want to know what her social media was, and maybe we could try and get her on our podcast.
Oh, yeah. I like that idea.
Okay.
She learned to love herself thanks to 5 years of therapy. And compared to my 30-year-old self when it comes to relationships these days, the attributes I seek in a partner couldn't look more different than from before. Before marriage, age 20-something or other, if I were to file myself under a relationship type, I'd choose C for chaos. Thankfully, however, by the time I reached my mid-30s, ovaries banging on the door of my womb, screaming, anyone there yet, I had a good sense to procreate with a sensible human being.
Good job.
Desperate to be a mother, I sought out intelligence rather than cool trainers, being kind over...
Intelligence over what?
Cool trainers.
Okay.
Kind over cocaine taking.
Oh, good one.
And found a man from whom the idea of a Sunday afternoon after party was reading FT Weekend with a glass of red wine.
Okay. She chose someone very reasonable.
So that's what she's saying.
That's what
I did a good job.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what we say too.
Then she began to be like, well, nope, I don't like this anymore. So, having successfully dated the entire spectrum of male series,
good for her,
species, I hereby let you know I prefer to date younger. Calm down, Bridget. Calm down.
Oh, wait. Why did she say calm down, Bridget?
I don't know. That's her thing. Is she Bridget?
Oh, because I was going to say in the new Bridget Jones Diary,
that must be that.
She ends up dating a younger guy, but then realizes that it's just not going to work.
Post-divorce sex is about asking for what I want.
How did she know what she wanted? Oh, therapy.
With concerns over finances and fertility out of the way, whatever with an essential truth. Had I not experienced menopause, I'm not sure this newfound space within my body, mind, and soul would exist. It was a hormonally hideous year that ended 6 months ago when I finally found the right combination of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone.
Sorry, did you know that this article was going to be about this?
No. With the armory of HRT, I regained a sense of self and began to enjoy sex again. Oh my God, we're going to get everything back today.
We're going to get our blood work done literally for this reason. This is ironical.
This is crazy. Replaced by an understanding of what I want and need, having sex on my terms. Gone is the insecure woman of my 30s and 40s. As for what I want and need, I've discovered not all men are equipped to deliver. If marital sex was about getting pregnant and feeling safe, post-divorce sex is about asking for what I want, which turns out is a domination light. I went to a nightclub called Torture Garden, look it up, and found the whipping and chains.
Sorry. This is taking so many unexpected turns.
The whipping and the chains, so absurd that I had to find a loo, a bathroom to laugh in.
How did she end up there? Who did she go with?
Within that mind, I'll pass on the glass of milk and facing the wall until permitted to move. Presumably you've seen the clips of Nicole Kidman and Baby Girl. I have not, have you? Although you won't find me drinking milk from a dog bowl anytime soon. That's in the thing. They do these things. I do prefer my sexual partner to take control. As for ending up in bed with a fellow submissive, a man until the lights stay on and the knickers fly off, was masquerading as an alpha with a capital A.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right.
It turned out to be a no-go zone. Should you need a visual, picture 2 dying fish on the deck of a boat.
Okay. I got it. Oh, that's the end of that? Okay, so you need to have someone. She needs a dominant, and she likes to be the submissive.
She found this out by going to a club
because she thought she'd end up with someone who she thought was a dominant, but he turned out to be a submissive. That's 2 fish dying on the. Okay, got it.
So they're both lying there, flopping around, waiting for the other one to do something.
Okay.
Navigating this complex sexual landscape simply wouldn't have been possible 10 years ago.
Why?
So even if I ought to be dating age appropriate, being a middle-aged woman and all that, because God knows no one ever suggested anything similar to a man when it comes to sex, I have found many men my age lack flexible thinking. I shall refrain from cracking the physical flexibility joke and will let you use your imagination instead. But when it's all said and done, I've come to understand it's all in my head, literally. No longer a bit part porn actress watching myself from the corner of the room. She likes to disassociate and shag with the lights on.
Has she found someone? Or she just found her style?
I think she likes to know that.
That makes a lot of sense too, that like a younger guy would be more flexible, not only sexually, but like just within his thoughts at all, because people just get set in their ways. You know, like the dishwasher has to be.
I think that what she needs is somebody, she knows what she needs, and only a younger man is willing to go. And if she's like, I need this, then the younger man doesn't personalize it. He's like, then I'm going to give you that. Where older men are like, don't tell me what to do. Older men are less flexible thinkers, which we know. I'm not ashamed to admit the way a partner crunches an apple, sniffs when watching TV, leaves pants on the floor, and lids off shampoo bottles annoys the hell out of me. And that's the best thing I've learned about love and dating at this age. I don't have to. I don't have to live with a man ever again. And the only long-term relationship I can imagine myself is with my dog. So she just likes to go to sex clubs and live alone. And have younger men.
She's figured it out. I mean,
what's her name? Her name is Stacy. I wonder what her ex thinks and her kids.
I don't know, but let's put we will link her because she has a book, and we just
I need to find her book
content and find her book, and then also once we find her book, let's ask her to come on the podcast and tell us more about this, because apparently she talks about it on social media.
God, you know what's so crazy is we talk about vibrators like not being in in Texas, and I feel like when men hear that women want younger men,
Yes.
Older men get so scared.
Yes, I think so too.
I think they're like, oh, but it's okay if an older man wants younger men.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
sorry, if
with
an
younger
older
women.
man wants a younger woman,
No,
women
I feel
can't
like
get
they
mad about it.
No, I feel like men are super defensive about it and kind of like, oh, let's grow, you know, like that's weird or like, but you know, it's true. The Bachelor, when they have the older and the youngers, will be really interesting to see how they interact with each other if they do, like on the Bachelor in Paradise.
I think that it's going to be more older women, younger men. 100%.
It will also depend on the cast.
I know, but I do think that younger men like older women.
I mean, that's definitely a thing.
I think
days.
more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think when you see older men and younger women, it looks so cliche.
So passe.
And I feel like now younger men are like, I want that woman.
I can't wait to like be friends with someone who introduces us to her younger boyfriend and watch the dynamic.
Okay, I've got a quiz for you. Oh, Chi-Chi, you're snoring.
Poor Chi-Chi.
Do you know that there's a most favored position in sexual relationships? It's a relationship expert reveals the most favored position. What is it?
Missionary?
Nope.
Doggy style?
Yep.
For both men and women?
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Are you shocked by that?
Yeah, I am. What do they say why?
It's so easy and natural, yet kinky, intense, and raw.
Oh, yeah.
You can have it almost everywhere, from a floor to a bed to a sofa to a locker room to a shower, in the woods, anywhere.
It's also funny because it's really not like, you're not face to face, so it's really not intimate. It's really just about sex.
Yeah, that's really what it's his favorite.
Yeah.
You can do it to anyone. You can do it to like a stranger. You can do it to your partner.
You could do it on a bridge and rollerblades.
She said that.
So did I.
And the really big thing is that men like to see their
penises go in and out.
Yeah. Huh. That's what it's really about. You know what I mean? Jerks.
I think next time I'm going to do a doggy style.
Like today?
Whenever I get the energy up. Maybe when I get my hormone levels even. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to say it's just going to be like this. I don't want to do anything else. I'm just going to stick it.
That's all you're going to do. You're just sticking to one position for the rest of your life.
No, just for next time.
Oh.
I've got a plan.
You're going in with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
You're going in with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to say, like, this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in between.
Mm-mm.
One thing.
It'll be ready for you. Let's go.
Wow. How are you going to get it ready?
Oh, it'll just be ready.
You'll just make it ready. You'll just like, come on up. The steak's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Team medium rare. Let's go.
Your team meeting.
Team meeting, yeah. And then just like that. And just don't ask for anything else. Just that.
Okay. So the menu tonight is this and this only.
Only one thing on the
There's
menu.
only one thing. This is not
Chef
a fucking
special.
This is not a buffet, baby.
No.
There's no buffet here. We are not. There is.
No.
You know what?
All you can eat buffet should be a really special occasion.
I like that we're really taking back everything and anything. Now it's just one thing a night. Oh, no, not a night. One thing at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can be kissing or nipples. Not both.
Yeah.
It can be
one
foreplay or not.
Yeah. And
but
like
not
just
foreplay
one
and sex.
Style at a time.
What?
You know what
Sorry,
I mean?
Don't mix styles. We're not having Japanese tonight and Italian.
Mm-hmm.
We are having one
genre.
One genre.
That's it.
That would be easier.
Yeah, because it's like I don't want it to be like, oh, like I don't know what's next, or when,
you don't want to know. You're not like looking forward to seeing what's on the menu tonight.
No, or like it gets switched around all like in between. It's like, Jesus.
We were just getting into something here.
Like, I don't need to do this for hours. Let's just do the one thing. Let's master the one thing, and then we'll see if we can move on. I'll decide.
When are you gonna do that? Like you're gonna be like that. You pass a test. Like is it like, you know what, we're done with that. Like we need to switch up the menu. Like it's like meal planning.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And you're like, you know what?
Once
it's time. I'm sort of bored of this. We're gonna move on to the next.
And I feel like any man would just be like, huh, you if you're telling me, maybe not any man, sorry, like the men that I know, would be like, yay, we've got a plan. Let's go.
We've got a plan.
Yay!
It's like carpool. This is the plan.
This is what time we'll be going.
And that'd be great too.
That's so hard with the kids.
Oh God, I'm so over everything. So you know what? Parenting is so long.
It is. And I can't believe I have a 10-year-old son. You have a 9-year-old daughter.
No, it is like And there's no break. Those camp people are really smart.
Yeah, actually, when they say they are, and they're like, honestly, like I've got someone who's like, I literally, like, I have a girlfriend during the summer. I date her, and we date.
Like they get 4 weeks off. It's not even the kids that are in the way.
The problem is,
it's like
you have headspace.
It's also like it's time for bed.
I know, but you and I just miss them so much.
I know, but it would just be nice to. We don't even go away anymore.
Maybe kids could go away on the weekends.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Weekend camp.
And like in the summer, they don't even go to school.
I know,
but like it's like nothing. It's like the abyss of time.
I feel like most people have plans.
You know what I did like? I liked when we in the summertime, if they weren't going to camp, it's like we didn't cook.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, my camp is buying.
I like that too.
Online.
We got so sick of that.
I know. I mean, I would get sick of it again, and they got so sick of it, and then the home cooked meal became good.
Instead of,
I mean, they need to cook. You know what?
Oh, that's good. But I was going to say, and maybe instead of camp, we hire like a daily dinner chef.
No, I think they need to start
a student.
They need to take over.
Yeah, but they just make a mess.
Who cares? They clean it up. You're old enough.
Okay.
Clean it up and make it.
But what about an intern chef?
If you don't have a job, if you aren't,
I don't like them. I don't want to eat their cooking.
Well, you don't have to eat it.
Oh, that's
they
true.
They have to cook it for each other.
That's right. And then we go out.
Yeah, fuck it.
Sure.
I mean, I'm really. I'm thinking as men go to work all the time, okay? Because I know a lot of men who don't stay home. I know more women who stay home and work at home than men. They actually get a break even if they're at work.
I know.
It is a break from what you think of every day. It's no wonder they have so much room for so many things because even when you go in the car without a kid, it's different than having kids in the car. It's a break.
I know.
I do understand that when people talk about the load in your brain, because
even if you're listening to like a podcast, a radio, or your favorite song and no one's interrupting, like that's, even if you're sitting in a car, that is like self-care time. Because you're you're in your own thoughts or you're listening to whatever you want by yourself
without having their conversation at you. And like sometimes I'll be in the car and I have one that sometimes is just quiet. She sings to all the songs and like I kind of zone out and I forget she's there and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even talk to her. Because sometimes you need to, like, it's good to talk. But then I was like, it's kind of nice. And then I drive home from dance and I'm like, without anybody, I'm like, oh, it's really nice just to drive in the car with like my own thoughts.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
know.
so rarely we get our own. I think that's what men miss is that we don't get our own. They get their own thoughts. And, I think they go to the bathroom for so long because they get their own thoughts in the bathroom where we rush because we're always rushing.
So rushed.
And we don't get our own thoughts.
I was literally, you heard me on the toilet this morning. I was trying to go, by the way, I didn't go. And someone was at the door and and of course I don't say, because, like the men always lock the door.
Yes.
Of course I told them someone needed something in the bathroom. I'm like,
you can get it.
I'm like, come on in, come and get it. Like, what do I like?
Do you think our daughters will be smarter?
I feel like yes. I would fear no. I think yes. I fear no.
Why?
Which part?
Why not?
That a lot of the like traditional just like ways will just fall into place the way that they did before.
It's so weird because I'm going to talk about The Bachelor again because I watched one girl on there who actually was the best match for him. And she was like, I'm your partner. She was the lawyer. Dinah, I forget her name. But she's like,
she would have left him.
She's like, my job is to like be there with you, not just for you to take care of me. And it's like, he's like, I've never thought of a relationship like that. Like,
I've never met a woman who's like equal like that.
Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, that's what a partnership is in life. And often you have to grow up and get there.
I'm not surprised that he didn't choose her.
Me too, but that's what would have been the most successful relationship but she would have held him accountable to be there for him.
Sucks is I also wouldn't be surprised. I don't even want to say what I'm about to say. If she finds it hard to find a partner. I know.
Then you don't want one.
I know.
If you can't be,
but then she's going to cry about not having
She's looking for a grown up.
And then
she needs an older man.
Yeah. Because she's going to cry about being single and nothing works out for me and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe I'm too this. And then she's going to like second guess.
But then our daughters are screwed.
Well, that's what I fear.
because essentially what we're saying is men need to feel like they're taking care of somebody and they're in charge, yet we end up the ones being who take care of everything. So they feel like they can be taking care of us, but really we end up taking care of everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I'm watching the words and the actions of our girls currently, but they're not in a marriage yet.
Shit, Natalie.
You know, I'd like to go and have a really deep dive look at those people that are in their first couple of years of marriage.
Like now, like
right
20,
now.
26-year-olds.
Yeah. And see like what brought you two together.
What does the dynamic look like?
Also, you know how sometimes like there'll be like a woman that was really successful in the workforce who ends up giving it up.
Well, after reading that article, she's like, I just want to have sex with someone. I don't want the minutiaes of taking care of a man. It's like, that's really what a lot of women say is at the end of it. But I'm hopeful that if he had picked someone who wanted him to be as accountable as she was, like to be a partner, to be a full human in the relationship where they're like emotionally involved.
It's like she should search and search and search till she finds that person, because if she goes for someone who's not that, then it will take away her, like how amazing she is.
Do you think Italians are like
what?
Like that?
Yes. Wait, which way?
Like 50-50? No. No. No.
Really? Yeah. Not a, I mean, that's no, I would say no. Oh, no.
Like the men just get taken care of?
Oh, yeah. The women are very, like, they have that, you know, a lot of them are like, I mean, people always say, like, oh, your mom's Italian. Is she a great cook? Not, oh, your dad's Italian. Is he a great cook?
Oh, shit.
She learned from her Nona, and she's
like takes care of everybody. Maybe, are we raising boys better?
I'm trying to think of the boys that were raised in I mean, you and I have some really capable brothers. That's the thing, is like I'm saying, like if we're looking right inside of our house,
Yeah.
like all of the boys that came from my family that I grew up with are all
Yeah. They're 50-50s.
Yeah, they
but
are.
But are our sons going to be 50-50? Are we raising 50-50ers?
I mean, I feel like are we raising our boys kind of like how they were raised? How
No.
Our brothers were raised?
No, we're not.
No,
we're not.
Oh.
We stay home and take care of them.
I mean,
I would say, like
I think our the boys that came from our family are really capable. All
like
of them,
in the relation, you know, when you see all the relationships like shit online where it's like your partner, how they treat you in the house, or like how how they do the things, like our husbands are around a lot, which is different. I would say they do a lot, they manage a lot, but I don't know like if there's like you know the dads who like cry over the Hallmark commercials.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
It's hard because like we were raised by such strong independent. I feel like we're not a good example.
I know.
Because I feel like I think we are that. We are like our moms in that way, even though like we're home to take care of the kids and like their situation was different. I still feel like our boys are seeing women who are like, we deserve to be taken care of.
It's very confusing when I look at relationships, because I feel like our relationships at our age are different than our parents' relationship. Like I feel like our generation is different, not that much different, but like a little bit different. But I don't know what our kids are taking from our relationship, because the roles aren't 100% defined. Like it's not like, well, actually mine's pretty traditional where my husband goes to work but I also go to work. Like I'm not sure what they take from what's around them, because they create worlds on what they're watching. And then they see like Young Sheldon online, and where it's like this TV show, it's called Young Sheldon, where the mom is traditionally doing so much and she kind of gets fed up and wants to leave her husband. So she ends up going to Europe with one of her kids, and he has to step up and start doing everything like she would. And when she comes back, they're all running like a well-oiled machine without her. And she's like, hold on a minute. you need me. And they're like, not really anymore. And she's like, whoa. And he comes to a realization of how much she does.
You still watch so many like TV shows, like not that the kids are watching a lot of TV shows and movies and stuff, but a lot of the traditional roles still take place.
I know.
You know, the one which was the most like amazing was Who's the Boss, because Tony was the Manny and Angela was the hardworking woman, and that's like,
and he was like the emotional, like sensitive one with the kids.
She was the boss lady. There was like, that was so unique of an idea for a show that worked for so long.
Like, don't you wonder what the relationships they're going to be in as the boys look for girls? Like, what are they going to look for? Like, what are we? And when I think of all the shows they watch and like online and stuff and all the online relationships, like, you know, like there's so many like Dixie and like Noah, like they've watched. We never had that. We never had real relationships online. We didn't really watch reality couples.
No.
And then watch them on TikTok, like break up and get together and like fight, and like their world of relationships is so different than what we had. I mean, we only had rom-coms. We had like real, like we just wanted like fucking Disney princess shit.
That's what we envisioned in the beginning for our future. Yeah, I think it's a lot more. They're seeing a lot more realistic.
That's kind of good.
Yeah,
because you'd be real disappointed if you're just waiting for your wedding to come and go.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's all we wanted was to get married. That was our mission when we were younger. To find a fucking husband. I don't think they're like that anymore.
I don't know.
You don't think so? I don't think my kids talk about their like wives and husbands as much as we talked about wives and husbands.
No, I don't think so.
I think that we used to talk about it a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Like at their age.
I know. I'm thinking of like the comments that my kids have made about being married and stuff. And it's just because the things have changed so much. It's like when you look at them. Oh, and I think that our parents used to be like, when you thinking about the ideas of when you get married and all that. And I feel like there's not a lot. There's less of that conversation.
But we are married.
But we are married. But I just was thinking about my son because they have a hyphenated last name. And I said, well, I mean, we're really in a conundrum now about what women, because I didn't want to get rid of my last name because I felt my kids were half me and half him.
Yeah.
And then when my boys get married, if they're women, their wives, if they get married to women or whatever they get married to, it will be very tricky if that woman wants to do what I did. Because they couldn't just like drop me.
Can you have one kid with one name and another kid with another name?
Yeah, I know a family that did that.
So like,
it's tricky because people don't know that they're siblings. And,
I know, and then you travel and you're like,
so
wait.
If my kids were to, if like TJ were to marry your daughter,
would they have 3 names?
What would their kids have? So she could keep her name and he could keep his name. What do the kids get?
I guess that's a conversation they're going to have together.
And
maybe
I feel
they
like
make a new one.
That's a great idea. Because
just go
really,
create a new last name.
I think so. It's harder to like find your lineage, but because I would say
lineage,
like where you come from.
Yeah,
I'm not like my kids are the first generation with this last name ever. Right? No one's ever had it. No one else in the world has this last name. But I would say, like, you know, when someone's like, oh, they would just drop the first one. If she wanted to hyphenate, they drop the first one. I mean, you're not dropping mine.
Oh, well, that's not up to you.
All right. So then TJ said,
why
did you
go first?
I don't know. It sounds a lot better.
Well, just because you've only said that.
Does the woman's name come first?
I don't know.
Me neither. We'll have to look into people's last names.
You probably just wrote it down like, yeah, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
You probably didn't think much of it.
Definitely sounds better the way it is. Because I feel like, oh no, well, I'm thinking of Taylor's boyfriend. They did it the same way as we did it.
Huh?
Maybe the
things you learn every day.
We'll go and do some research.
Whose name goes first?
Does the lady's name come first?
And maybe we get rid of middle names, and it becomes 3 last names. Like you move one of the last names to the middle name.
But wait, that's what I'm saying. Let's say TJ. So you're moving me to the middle?
Yeah.
No, why?
Because you decided to go first. So don't go first. If you want your name to stick around, go second. Life lessons.
I like the idea of making a new last name.
Yeah, just go make something different. I don't know how you do that on passports and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you just have one for fun. I don't know what you do. Not our problem.
Not our problem.
Not our problem. At the end of the day, it's not our problem. It's the kids' problem. And they're going to have to deal with that. And you know what? When you're in love in the beginning, you're willing to compromise anything. It's 20 years in, you got problems. When you're like, hey, that was we should have been this way.
Yeah.
When you hit peri-menopause and you get annoyed by everything and you wish you had done a different name. You know what I mean? It's all fun. They'll be fine because they'll just be in love.
Right.
It's fine when you're willing to compromise anything when you're in love. She's like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, of course. No problem. I love that for you.
Maybe it would just be like initials. So mine would be TT. If they married your girl, it would be MTT.
Can you think about what you...
Oh, I asked TJ and he said whatever my wife wants.
Can you think about if you... And then we have to go. God, this is over. But I want to talk about this next time. Can you think about what you compromised back then, which you would fucking not be able to let go now? Like if you, back in the day... would there have been you would have been like, I can't believe I didn't marry someone who is so funny.
You know what's so tricky about those kind of things?
I know.
Let's say you thought you really wanted to marry someone really funny, but then 20 years later, where you are now, you're like, that actually wasn't really important. I thought it was so important.
Like the grass is always greener?
Yeah. So
you can't have hindsight.
I'm sure there are people who probably made some big compromises.
Like if they were, yes, I know. I think so.
Like I would say that Mark making the compromise to move to this country
is huge.
He should have maybe thought longer about that because now he's stuck here. Not really. He's got a life here too, but he's
stuck there
he's stuck in Canada.
Yeah.
Forever. And if I were to leave him, he'd have to find someone here.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't want to leave his kids.
He couldn't take the kids home to another country.
I'm really glad I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't make that conscious decision. That just happened.
Yeah, because if you had moved,
which I was willing to do,
you couldn't have come.
I couldn't have left my kids.
Nope.
He would have fought for it.
Yep.
They're
not getting divorced.
Sorry,
that was just
that could have been a catastrophe.
Yeah, no, I know.
Thank God.
I know.
I remember when I was living in Vancouver, we knew a couple and that exact same thing was happening. And she's like, well, I want to move back to Toronto. And he's like, you're not fucking taking my kids.
Nope.
And they would fight and it was so bad.
Yeah.
And in the end, it's sad because both people just wanted to be where their families were and they both wanted their kids.
Yep. I was just thinking though of compromises of that you would.
That's a big one.
Oh yeah, that's a huge one. Or like I was thinking of if you grew up as like a ski family. But your partner is like, we do hockey. Like I think of a lot of the families who are like,
and they really miss out. They're missing out on that part of the culture that they really loved in their life
because
they gave it up.
We met someone once who said, I got divorced because of hockey. Mm-hmm. She's like, I did not agree.
We did not like comprehend that at all. And now we can actually see why. Yeah. Her husband just was obsessed with hockey and that's all he wanted to think and do. And she's like, okay, sorry. Well, I'm tired of this.
Yeah. And she's like, he just couldn't get it.
That was definitely her like.
Yeah, but we can see how it would be all life consuming where you're like, this is, if your whole life becomes that and your family is used to like, I mean, there is a point where you and I didn't go away or go on vacations because of hockey or go to any of the breaks for the girls. This is our first year.
This is our first.
You can imagine if
in 16 years.
In hindsight, if we kept delaying it and then they grew up and we're like, are you fucking kidding me? I just missed all of that time with my one because of this. It's interesting. It's an interesting because you can't have hindsight until you have hindsight. Like you can't have it till when you're younger, everything's fine.
The only thing I can say is for me personally is that with everything, how everything happens, I have that like really deep belief that it was supposed to be this way, or that this was like the wrong words, like destiny or fate. But like, if but
you're here, so that's why it's good for you.
I mean, who knows what I would have said to myself then? But I said a nauseous feeling, having eaten, is like when I look back, I just feel like even if you gave it up, I would say to myself, and let's say I did continue to ski, which I don't, and this is like a pretend story. that maybe something in that ski world wouldn't have been what I want. I would have believed that it was supposed to be this way.
Yeah, I also think of someone who like moved up north.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, because we know a lot of couples, one likes sun, one doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
one likes a city, one hates a city.
Mhm.
They marry each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get older and like you hear your parents be like, oh, my dad loved the city, but she didn't. So, but they could
Mhm.
never go, or someone likes to go out and the other one doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of give up that one part of who you are
Mm-hmm.
for the other person. And then when they're older, their kids talked about, my mom will talk about what my grandfather liked and my grandmother didn't. And so where they lived and what they did was for her, not for him. I think about that.
Mm-hmm.
People who do give up something that you, if as a kid, if you know it, it means that your parents often talked about what one liked and one didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts with Cat and Nat. Bye.